Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back, coming down from the high that was the Saints stunning the Falcons in week one in Atlanta. And just like the NFL does, man, you had that moment. We were all excited, we were all happy, and it's like, all right, gotta get ready for week two.
24-hour rule, baby. Move on.
Um, Taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Here we go again.
Here we go again, bro. Since we have had this podcast, the Saints have gone 4-1 against the Bucs. Obviously, the one win being in the playoffs. But since we've started recording, they have swept the Bucs in the regular season. Swept them,
Crazy.
and absolutely insane. And here we go again, week two. Also, like I don't know what the fucking schedule makers were thinking, putting 3 divisional games at the beginning of the season. Like,
Right?
what the fuck is that about? But we know the story, man. We don't have to like really dive into it too much, like we're going to. But I think when I think of this game, the 3 things that are going to be the 3 most important things about this game. First and foremost is injury. It appears, and I say appears, that the Bucs may be without Chris Godwin and Donovan Smith, their left tackle. Excuse me, their left tackle in this game. We all know how players or other teams, opposing teams, just magically heal before the game. But it is potentially trending that they'll be missing those 2 starters. So that's the first thing. And the second thing to me is, was the pass rush that the Saints showed in week one, was that just pass rush of them not rushing up the field because that was the game plan and they didn't want to rush too far up the field to contain Mariota? Or was that just pass rush? And then my second thing, we're gonna dig into all these things deeper. My second thing is, this just feels like the game that if there was ever a game that the Saints are going to be like, oh, that's why we had Marcus Williams. Like, to me, this is this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to start with the Saints offense against the Bucs defense or vice versa, but let's dive into it, man.
Yeah, let's go, man. Start with the Saints offense.
I mean, to me, it's simple, bro. Like, if we get the O line that played in the first 3 quarters against the Falcons, bro, this game is going to be a slaughter. Like,
Slaughter.
It's not going to be close.
Like I said on the in the Discord, like, I mean, what's his name? What's the head coach?
Todd Bowles.
If Todd Bowles turn that Atlanta tape on, and he see those free A and B gap blitzes opening up,
Birdman hand rub, baby.
like Noah splitting the river, the sea, the Red Sea or whatever. He like, ooh, I'm about to bring that heat.
And the crazy thing is, the scary thing is that they might not even need to bring heat, bro. Like, they might be able to get disruption with just Vita Vea, with just like, that's how the Saints have historically won against the Bucs. Conversely,
right.
like,
and if you go look back at the Bucs Cowboys game, I was studying it today, and they didn't blitz as much in that game. Dak played horrible before he got hurt. Look, I got my gripes about Mike McCarthy, man. Like, the dude is so unimaginative with offense.
Missionary.
It's missionary with the lights off, under the covers. Like, that's Mike McCarthy offense, bro. Like the routes are just boring, bro. It's just like, wow, like, you're not helping at all. So, Saints offense is a little different from that, but still, I mean, you got Akeem Hicks. He's going to be lining up. He's gonna be lining up right over Cesar Ruiz.
Boy.
And I know Akeem Hicks a little longer too. He's not what he was, but I mean, that's not a matchup I like.
No. No.
Then you got Vita Vea. He usually lines up. Sometimes he plays the nose, sometimes he shades over. So he's a load. He's a load. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be Eric McCoy, and Pete spending a lot of time on him. So Cesar Reed's gonna have to win his matchup. You know what I'm saying? So who that nation need to say a prayer?
And you said that without even mentioning they drafted Logan Hall, I think in the first round of this past draft, or maybe it was the second round. It was the second round, maybe. And it makes me like so annoyed that in a very short period of like in one game, like Logan Hall just appears to maybe be a better fucking pro player than fucking Peyton Turner, who was drafted same school, University of Houston. We just couldn't wait a year, I guess, to get our guy from the University of Houston. Just couldn't wait. So they have him on the defensive line. They have another player that also it's not meant to be a hashtag who first fucking character assassination. But every fucking time I see Joe Tryon on that field, bruh, this man's out here looking athletic, running players down, making plays. I'm just like,
and it's funny because I peeped out like Bucs fans are annoyed with him. Like he's not at the point where they want. But I'm like, shit, I wish we was getting some of that from him first. I'm like, shit, y'all should be happy with that. Shit. That's the matchup though, man. That front.
That's it. And if they I think one of the most interesting parts about this game, we'll talk about like Latavius Murray being signed to the practice squad and Mark Ingram didn't practice, or he was limited practice day. But I'll be interested and curious to see, does Pete Carmichael look at what happened in the fourth quarter, and he just says, this is what our offense has to be, just to some degree, not fully, run and gun, fully hurry up, but like if we're gonna be successful with Jameis, this worked. The line blocked. It worked. Everything was humming. Do I have to change the offense to kind of fit that mold more? It's going to be interesting to see, man, because if they come out and start trying to do those same like Saintsy West Coast option things and it's not working, and it's like,
it's interesting, man, because so much went into that comeback. Part of it was, they went hurry up. Another, basically the Tampa defense pretty much stopped blitzing.
Oh, yeah, Falcons defense.
Falcons defense stopped blitzing. Yeah. So that helped. They went hurry up, so, the clock in James's head was sped up, and he was getting the ball out. It was really just beautiful. Like that. Everything was just started working. And I think part of it, we got to understand, like, man, these dudes played almost no preseason time together. Mike Thomas started getting healthy during camp. Then Jameis got hurt. Then Jameis got back. Then Mike Thomas got hurt. And Mike Thomas was like literally limited last week. You know what I'm saying? So they pretty much had very little, almost no time together. There's they played like 7-8 snaps in the preseason, like starters. So it's like, I guess part of it, we should have understood that this was going to take some time,
right?
Like the offense. You kind of saw it around the league, like, man, like all of the contending, like most of the contending teams and stuff, except like the Chiefs or the Bucs, the Bills. Everybody else just looked pretty rusty, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was rusty. All the teams, the contended teams that sit their starters during the preseason, don't play much, they all looked pretty rusty, and I think that's just a part of this new age where, teams don't like to put their starters out there in the preseason and they feel they want to save their players and they kind of use the beginning of the regular season as their preseason.
Right.
Conversely, you see teams, the teams that are really trying to come up. Teams that are, there was a losing team that's trying to come up. They putting in work. Like Marcus Mariota, he was putting in work the preseason. You know what I'm saying? He was getting snaps. Build their offense because they ain't got no time. Like they,
Right.
like they need to win. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't got no time for all that. So I think there's something that's why you saw so many upsets, in week one, and it's going to be interesting to see how that just kind of percolates out as we go along, as tapes start coming out, as players start getting their feet under them. As we see, Jameis starts getting better timing with Mike Thomas, and his wide receivers. The good thing is, it's already there with Jarvis, bro.
Yes.
I rewatched that game. I'm like, man, like pay the man, like what I'm saying, like Jarvis, that $3 million, he's getting $3 million, like to get that a player at that level, and he's healthy. Knock on wood, he stays that way. Like, bro, that's one of the best FA signings this season, man. Like by any team,
A steal, bro. An absolute steal.
They signed him in May?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
May, June, or something like that.
Ridiculous.
Like that's crazy.
What's funny is that as I was watching that game against the Falcons, my first thought, not that they probably can't afford him, but I just wonder, like, do things like that, like, man, like, is Odell looking and just like, man, my old teammate at LSU doing that for like the hometown team, and he's hyped, like,
Yeah.
man, like I watched just seeing Jarvis's energy after the game, bro. It
was beautiful, bro.
hype, man. Like it, like I don't like it. It just brought, so like it felt special, right?
It's definitely a special, man. You got to understand, man. I'm not saying like, I'm sure every town has this, but like New Orleans is Jarvis is not from New Orleans. He's like right outside New Orleans, but like Louisiana is a very, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's very like family orientated, and like it's really like its own little world, kind of. So like players here, like when you get to play here, bruh, you got so much family here and all that. It's different, man. That's why, for like Honey Badger and Jarvis Landry to be playing here, bro, like, it's just different for them, man. Like it's a different type of feel for them, bro. Like beyond the money. Like you getting to play in front of your people, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy just to see. And he enjoyed it, man. Like he's really enjoying it. That's why I'm like, man, like, man, they had 2 years on that deal, Kai. Just that work, Kai.
Just tack them on.
A couple of tack them on, man. They already got ghost years on there. Just put a little money in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can do that.
I think a point in this game is I wonder, and I'm sure to some degree they may try it, maybe whether it be with Taysom, but historically at time like when Sean coached the team, he didn't even try to run at the defense, bro. He didn't try to. He like, I think he just felt like I'm not gonna bang my head against like something that I know is not gonna work and just waste downs, and so he just kind of tried to attack them offensively and things like, or off passing walls and things like that. I wonder if Pete's gonna have that same mindset. AK's dealing with the rib. He's limited practice. They signed Latavius to the practice squad. It wouldn't shock me at all if he is elevated to the roster for the actual game. But it all comes down to the offensive line. It all comes down to Jameis and timing and getting the ball out on time. It's the first like rematch between fucking Mike Thomas and Carlton Davis, bro. Like they haven't since the playoff game.
Man. Saints fans was talking trash. Online, they all called Davis garbage. I'm like, man. I'm like, the dude ain't garbage. Like he's just not. I'm sorry, he's a good cornerback,
right.
And he excels against against wide receivers like Michael Thomas.
100%. Although I will say he's done well against Michael Thomas when the quarterback's been Drew Brees.
Right.
Because everything.
That's a good point. That's a point that you need to state.
Everything was short, within 10, at the most maybe 15 yards. and you could kind of sit and stay close to the wide receiver on routes like that.
Right.
This is the first time that, and we saw it in the game, bro. Like, I know it was kind of like a pick play, but like that pass he threw that Mike Thomas jumped and extended and caught. Like, Drew Brees isn't throwing that pass unless it was like 2017. Like,
right.
And so this is kind of like the first time that Carlton Davis is facing Mike Thomas, but he has a quarterback. Well, maybe Mike Thomas might go a little deeper.
Right.
I also think, and he had flashes against the Falcons, but I also think this could really this is why drafting a player like Chris Olave could come in handy. Because, all right, let's say Carlton Davis is doing this thing on Mike Thomas. I don't even know who the second Bucs starting corner is. Honestly, I don't even know. But whoever, I'm going to pull it up right now. Jamel Dean. So Jamel Dean's going to be on Jarvis, and then so they're leaving. Is that Anton Winfield? Is that Sean Murphy Bunting on Chris Olave? Who are safeties and slots? That's a matchup that I think if the Saints gets time from the offensive line, that they can really exploit down the field.
And like you said, it comes back to that front, man. Because if you go back and look at some of the all 22 of the Falcons game, man, Olave was getting open a lot.
Yes.
He was beating this guy, you know what I'm saying? So he just needs the targets. So, I mean, he's going to be an option that's there. He's going to win his matchups a lot, whether that's short, that's intermediate, or deep. So they're going to have to expand his offense, man. We still, even though we saw a little bit of it in that hurry up, we still haven't seen the offense at its full capability. But look, the Bucs defense ain't no joke, bro. The front is good.
Not at all.
If you go watch the Cowboys game, the linebackers, they just flooded the middle of the field. Safeties, they just muddied the middle of the field and made it hard for Dak Prescott to pick his spots.
And that's where, at least historically, that's where Sean used to like to attack the Bucs defense, is in the middle of the field.
Right.
It's gonna be fascinating, man. It's gonna be fascinating. I do think they, and I know our dude Mitch was just annoyed about it during the game, bro. He was like, "Why are they going away from the Taysom shit? It's working. Go back to it."
Real.
I think if it's working, especially like it was against the Falcons, and I'm not saying running it every play or anything like that, but sprinkling that in consistently, if it's gaining good plus yardage, is something and that's a different way to kind of run the ball, but still get production in the run game.
Right. No, I agree. They use Taysom, man. Taysom is a weapon, or use him in the run game. I want to see more tight end Taysom. I want to see him use him in the pass game a little more, man. Let's get some tight end screens going. Let's get something going, man. Ways to attack the aggressiveness of this Bucs defense. Something I don't know if we talked about on the last pod, but look, Juwan Johnson, man, after looking at this game again, he was blocking well,
blocking his ass off,
made plays in the pass game. He looked pretty good as a tight end, man. So we already know, he's been in Jameson's hip for a while. So if they can expand that chemistry that they have, man, that'll be huge, man. I've cut on Juwan Johnson a lot.
We all have.
But look, he's a good athlete.
Yes.
He is a good athlete as a tight end. As a wide receiver,
no,
he's a slow wide receiver. But as a tight end, it's a pretty good athlete, man. So let him, if he could floss, move on from Troutman. I know Troutman's gonna be in there.
I was just about to say, bro, with Juwan and Taysom, bro, Troutman the third tight end on the team.
Bro, death of the 2020 draft, bro. That shit dead, man. That shit is dead.
not being resuscitated at all, bro. Like nobody resuscitated that draft class. Um, anything else like offensively?
I mean, I saw Traquan Smith was limited today.
Okay.
You know, look, Traquan got some touchdowns against the Bucs, man. I'm just saying, like Traquan as a 4, like ain't bad.
No, it's not bad.
As a 4 or 5.
No,
Because you got Hardy, you know.
it's not bad. I can't, bro. I can't, Ryan. I can't do it. Although I will say, especially going against a team and a defense like this, the more weapons you have, the better.
Yeah.
So I will 100% concede that. Trying to think if there's just anything else offensively. We didn't even talk about. Well, the only time we would have talked about it would have been during the recap pod, I believe. But we didn't even talk about McCoy getting a contract extension.
Oh yeah.
So that kind of happened a couple of weeks after CD Deuce got traded,
and he played outstanding.
He did. He had like a couple of bad snaps here and there, but for the most part, he played well. For sure.
His blocking was terrific, man. He was downfield.
Oh yeah, downfield, just clearing pathways and beautiful, man. Beautiful. Let's flip it over. Bucs offense, Saints defense. The success or the outcome of this game is gonna be you got 3 fucking first round picks, or I guess technically you have 4 fucking first round picks if you're considering two first round. You got numerous first round picks invested in this defensive line. They have to get to Tom Brady, but I do wonder if Byron Leftwich looks at the tape and sees, man, he's not really didn't fit their run gaps well. Like he was getting eat up alive in the run game. And maybe they don't even try to which is weird to say, but maybe they don't try to start off putting the game in Tom Brady's hands, man. Maybe they try to say, hey, let's see if Leonard Fournette can get going and have that same success that the Falcons did. I do think it's different in the sense that the challenges that having like a quarterback like Marcus Mariota and like that unpredictability of like formations and if he's going to run and things like that just as a natural thing kind of maybe just puts a little pause in terms of, you know, when you're a defender or if you're on the defensive line, because maybe you're thinking it's going to be to the quarterback. Obviously, when you're playing against Tom Brady, that's completely not the case. Like it's not
the case,
even remotely the case. So maybe we see a completely different run game, or hopefully they do have a different freaking run game. But I just have a point blank question to ask you, bro, and I don't feel like it's being talked about enough. Is David Onyemata good?
He's fine. He's fine. He's a fine defensive tackle, but you know, for the money he's making. And, you know, where you want to see him at this point, you develop him from a guy who didn't know anything about football to where he is now. You kind of want to see him take that next step as a pass rusher. Because he's still good at controlling blocks, eating up blocks, getting a little pressure, but I'm not seeing the pass rush enough from him. And they need it desperately up the middle, man. Like, they need it. And it's not consistent enough for me, man. Like, I don't know if you need to get the PEDs.
That's what I was about to say, bro. He hasn't had the same type of game impact since he got close to him, bro.
No, man. And, you know, that D-line, bro, it's looking questionable, man. You got Onyemata, you know, Cam Jordan is long in the tooth. Davenport is looking like a defensive tackle.
Oh, did he audition for the Whale? Like,
bro, we watched him, bro, and like I'm not seeing the explosiveness. He he is not saying he's lumbering, but that it's just not there right now, man. It's not
But
there.
that,
Hopefully it does come.
but
Because he didn't, he barely practiced during the training
but that's
camp.
what
But
I'm saying.
man,
Like,
it's
doesn't that go back to training camp, bro? And we was asking these questions of just like I get like your pinky got amputated, bro, but like you can't get a Vertimax, you can't get like a treadmill,
Max.com,
you
baby.
can't get on a treadmill. Like that's what's the perplexing part to me, because like they made it sound like his pinky got amputated and then like his whole body just shut down, like
Yeah,
this man was just in bed, just couldn't move, and I'm like,
I don't understand.
I didn't get it then, but now as the season started, and I'm not saying that Davenport's the only NFL player to do this. This happens to numerous NFL players. A lot of players just play themselves into shape, in football shape,
Hmm.
during the football season. It's very common, but it's just I don't know, man. It's disheartening, and just be like, what? Like I don't even know if they're even considering giving him a contract extension, but I'll just say if they're considering that, they gotta be fucking careful as hell because to me there's more red flags with Davenport than there are
It would
green flags.
it would be like year to year.
Yeah, it had to be.
Like it would be like Drew Brees' first contract with the Saints. Like it's like a 10, like Drew Brees, what, 60 million, 10 a year. Literally the first year was guaranteed. That was it. Like, just every year was, no year was guaranteed after that. It wouldn't have any guarantees in it, man. Because I don't trust them.
Don't trust them,
How
bro.
can you trust?
You can't.
How can you trust Marcus
You
Davenport?
can't, man.
How?
You can't. You cannot. You cannot do it. You can't do it, man. You can't.
Impossible. 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 So I just hope he turns because like we talked about it all off season.
Yep.
So important. He is a key piece.
Key. And then I'm not even spending a lot of time talking about Peyton Turner,
Yeah, I'm tired of him.
but I want to see from the coaching standpoint or coaching aspect, can we get Tano active? Can we elevate Taco? Because at least I know what I'm getting out of them. At
Right.
least I know. But from this dude, like I'm already past the block field goal, bro. I'm already past it. Next.
Already passed.
Next. Um,
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they still want to keep throwing money after bad money this week. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting. I want to.
like this to me. This is, and I hate saying this because usually when like an offensive line is like depleted or not in good shape, fucking Saints defense run comes in and they look like the pristine Cowboys offensive line with Zach Martin and Teron Smith, bro. Like it is the story old as time. But potentially the left tackle is going to be potentially left tackle is not going to be there. They're down to like a second string, third string guard. Ryan Jensen isn't playing obviously because he tore his whatever the fuck he did to himself in training camp. Like this should be the fucking game where this defensive line dominates and just swarms Tom Brady time and time again. But if they don't dominate in this game, then like my concern level goes from like, okay, I'm concerned to like, okay, this is gonna be a fucking problem.
Yeah, it's the run game. I'm honestly worried about the run game.
I am too,
the run
man.
defense. Because if I'm not saying Lenny will go crazy, but if it becomes one of those, 6 yards, 8 yards, and he's falling forward, getting those first downs, man, that is just one of those long days in the office, bro. It's like, oh God, Tom Brady hitting them short passes. When I guess we talk about the pass game now for the Bucs offense.
Before we
Julio,
before we go into the pass game, let's wait a little second. Let's kick it over to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
All right. Hey, yo, Adam.
What's up?
Man, there's this one guy I've been wanting the Saints to pick up. It's this dude out in Lafayette named
What?
Luke. Yeah, man, this dude named Luke Butler runs with Hargrove Roofing. The dude is like 6'4", 285 pounds.
What?
Yeah, man, like he could beat out Ruiz, bro.
He could be the next AD. Sign him up, play for the Pelicans.
Man, listen. So, look. Plus, here's the thing about him: he'll take care of any of your roofing needs that we have down in South Louisiana.
It's crazy that you bringing him up because I've watched film on him and I could tell y'all he knows what's going on in the home insurance game. With storm season approaching, give Luke with Hargrove Roofing a call at 985-590-7601. Again, 985-590-7601. He gonna take care of y'all.
You beast.
All right, sorry to cut you off. Let's get into this pass game because this to me is going to be fascinating to see.
Yeah,
Part of it's going to be fascinating to see. This is the perfect game where the Saints hubris could bite them in the ass.
yeah.
Let's take a step.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back. Okay, could have kept Marcus Williams, best single high safety in the league. 24 years old, 25 years old, didn't keep him for like a difference of like $2 million. Okay. Whatever. You trade CD Deuce for God knows why. Trades him for peanuts. He's playing with Philadelphia. All right. Cool. Oh, but your cornerback who had an amazing training camp was potentially like, or you could roll out and have two cornerback ones on the field, which is wild to have. His ankle is still bothering him. So now you have to move Bradley Roby, who was supposed to be the slot taking over for CD. Now he becomes cornerback 2. You have Justin Evans, who had a great game against the Falcons from the slot position. He becomes slot. It's added so much pressure and all the depth and all the things that made this secondary great in a Super Bowl contender is completely gone now. I'm not right. And then I'll be honest, man. I said a little bit in the recap pod. I'm worried about Bradley Roby, bro. Worried, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, especially if you're not getting pressure. He's just not that guy, especially on the outside, man. Like, he's just not, man. Like, when he got drafted, what it was, 12, 13?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, he's a fine corner. He's a fine corner that could play for you, but Tom Brady will abuse that boy. Like, you put him on Julio Jones, and, Julio Jones, he didn't practice today. We don't know if that's a typical Julio day off or whatever.
Julio day off.
Yeah, but we'll see. But like Julio was looking good against Dallas, man. Like that speed was bad, that explosiveness.
What did we say on one of the podcasts we did during the offseason after he was signed, bro? Every Saints fan was like had jokes and they was like and we came on this show when we said, all right. All right. Like having
I was like, that's a good sign. Like, I was like, damn.
Like Julio's your wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, and now he's like, because of injury, like he's your, it's like the inverse. So the Bucs wide receivers is like the inverse of the Saints secondary, bruh. Like that's what the secondary should have been. Like, okay, one guy goes down, but we have another guy we can put in place. Boom, we don't have to worry about it. That I'm not saying Julio is dominant Julio or anything like that, but do I think he can get Bradley Roby a couple of times if Tom Brady got time? Yeah. Absolutely.
No question.
Like, what are we doing?
No question, man. So, that's going to be a matchup you got to watch. We know about Sean and
oh boy,
and Evans. That's going to be interesting. Look, man, we gonna make fun of that matchup and call Evans his son and all that stuff, but Evans is on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Isn't that wild?
Like that.
That's wild.
He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, bro. If you look at his statistics and what he has meant for that team.
And he doesn't. And I remember when he was at Texas A&M, bro. They wanted to move him to tight end. Like, I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
I'll never forget.
Remember? I remember perfectly, man. I was like, this dude is a dog. I mean, he basically made Johnny Football.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was the one making plays for Johnny Football. But anyway, like I have confidence in Lattimore.
Yes.
I have confidence. But you know, like it depends how they play him. You know, with all these weapons, you know, do they have Sean shadow him? Or do they just play sides? You know, I think they'll just probably play sides. So
would you play sides like this? To me, if it's me, and no one fucking asked me, but it's our podcast, so I'm asking my fucking self. If it's me, I'm taking Sean. He's shadowing Evans the entire game, and then Julio or whoever, like, we'll figure out the rest. Because to
that's
me,
what I would do too.
Because to me, I'm like, I know for maybe like most of the game, Marshawn on Evans it'll break even, right? Like he might get some plays on Sean might, get some plays on him, but for the most part it'll break even. And if it breaks even, as a defensive coordinator, I think you live with that. It's the rest, it's like the other things that could get you. It's like
Russell Gage.
And he was a DNP today too, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
And I know, again, it's Wednesday, so I know we record the preview show Wednesday. This is the first time the practice report comes out. But the reason why we recorded on Wednesday is because we want it to be out and early, so everyone can listen to the preview pod before the game. We tried a different formula where we used to record Thursday night and then it'd be up on Friday, and then people don't listen to podcasts on Saturday. Understandably, like, this shit doesn't happen. So that's why we kind of change how we do things. So by the time when you're listening to this, by the time like Friday, Saturday rolls around, like things injury wise can and have at times completely changed. So we acknowledge that. But one of like the sneaky matchups in this game, though, for real, is Tyrann Mathieu. Because he's seen over the years kind of just having Tom Brady's like number. Like he'll get an interception and he has like a pick six. I don't know what it is about Tom Brady, bro. I don't know what it is. Especially like during those, like when he was with the Chiefs, those Chiefs Patriots games, like it was just so I'll be interested to see how they plan to deploy him in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know we cut jokes about Marcus May during the August game and everything, bro. But one thing that was very apparent in that first game is his physicality and his presence was felt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he was just around the ball, man. Like pretty much every defensive snap you saw him. What's his number? Is it 9? What number? No, he's
6.
not 9. I know that. 6. Like you saw number 6, in the screen pretty much every snap. He's just that type of player. He's active. Missed a couple tackles. I hope he cleaned that up. Pretty much the whole defense. I mean, I saw Demario Davis miss tackles. So, I hope that's something they clean up. They've been a good tackling team the last, 5-6 years now. So that's something I'm confident they'll clean up, but they need to. I want to see Honey. Like you said, I want to see our Honey Badger. Like I want to see him moving around more, get him active, get him on the blitz. They didn't blitz as much against the Falcons, man. I want to see him. I know you gotta be careful with that when you face Tom Brady, but early in the season, test it out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a ton of tape on anybody. Test it out. Just see what happens.
Yeah, I think you can,
especially if the front four ain't doing work. If the front four doing work. If the front four doing work, okay, let the front four do work. But I mean, from what we're seeing, I'm not super confident the front four gonna do work. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think they could do work, but I think the reason they would do work is that the coaching staff has to acknowledge, like, our investment in this first round pick, at least right now, isn't coming to fruition. Like, they have to own that and say, we got to put players on the field that we feel can make plays and affect the game. Because let's just be real, bro. Like, in however many games he's played, Peyton Turner has made his presence known in a meaningful game, maybe one game. And even that, that what that Peyton Turner Carolina game reminds me of, bruh? That fucking Alan Troutman play he had against Devin White, bruh.
A little jerk route.
It was great play, great route.
Jerk route.
And like he just blew up, bro. Like he was like the next coming, and people still hold on to that Peyton Turner. Oh, he showed up against the Panthers, like
still,
man.
Still, bro.
What have you done for me lately, league, man? Like, what are we doing? Anything else you can think about when the defense on the field? Tom Brady, anything? Bucs offense.
And like you said, man, that Marcus Williams effect.
Yeah,
I saw 2 incompletions from Tom Brady, but he still got arm, man. Like unbelievably, 45 years old, he still has a ton of arm.
That don't make no fucking sense, bro.
It don't make no damn sense. So like, like
this man is 11. This man is 11 years older than me, and
unbelievable. He older than me. He's older than me.
Crazy.
But Marcus May is a guy who he bites a bit. He bites on that play action. He likes to be in the mix, likes to be down. Whereas Marcus Williams did his job, bro. He was back there, 20, 30 yards back there, man, just hovering. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see if Tom Brady, who knows Marcus May, is going to play a little game with him. You know what I'm saying? Play games with the safety, play games with his eyes. It's going to be an interesting matchup to just see how all that works out. And the type of defense, like, I don't think we ran a ton of single high with Marcus May. So, you might see a lot of 2 safety looks and stuff like that. I don't know I got to read Maddie's breakdown to see what the coverages we ran, but it's kind of hard to gauge from that Atlanta offense. Because, man, Atlanta, I mean, look, bro, like, just not to keep harping on Atlanta, but they brought it, bro, like, Arthur Smith was cooking, man.
Cooking, bro.
all the cook he gave, he brought like a nice little offense package with Marcus Mariota, that worked really well with Cordell Patterson, and you got Drake London who looked good. Kyle Pitts, Sean handled that, but I'm sure Kyle Pitts is gonna have a great season
for sure.
So, but it was a strange. It's a very different offense from what we're gonna face this week. So it's just going to be interesting to see how things play out. It's just interesting, bro. This whole first month, we're going to learn about this team.
Learn, bro. We going to know. But if they could just win, but just thinking long term, if they could win their first 3 games of the season, bro. Man.
Oh, 3 divisional games, bro? Like, that's huge. Huge. And look, I was listening to the Sean Payton interview, and he was talking about just how much coaches love being able to fix things after a win. Like, because he was talking about the Saints, he was like, I know after a game, like, to come away with a win, something they probably shouldn't have won, and be able to put the tape on and point to all the little things that went wrong, that player, it just makes it so much easier for a coach, because coaches just love it. Because, you got players' attentions now, because they got the win, they're happy, they feel good, but they want to be better.
Right.
So I think, just for them to get that win the way it worked out, where people are on better morale, I think that's going to be, I hope it's just going to work out better. Because, there was some bad tape, bro. There's a lot of bad tape in that game.
Ooh, buddy. Also, from a bigger perspective, like, I hope there's more of the little things kind of fixed up with DA as a head coach, because like the biggest thing was the whole cleats thing, man. Like I knew they were wearing the wrong cleats. I knew it, and that just wouldn't. It's just something that would not happen under Sean. It just
absolutely
would not have occurred at all. So like
The details.
the details, man. It's like Mark Ingram said, bro.
The shit that made Sean Payton crazy. Like, he was nuts about details.
A psycho.
Psycho. And DA doesn't strike me as that type of guy. But, he's going to have to learn to be a little psycho about certain things and a little obsessive, even if it's simple as just, having a footing. Or coming out to practice, like Sean Payton would have players go practice in the visiting stadium just to get a adjustment on the footing to see what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Go through walkthroughs out there, see what the footing's like so they can understand. But, we'll see. We're playing at home. Gonna be in the dome. Dome gonna be rocking. We'll see, bro. But if they need to get this W, man, like, if you could check this one off the list, boy, that's huge.
You know me. There is no better feeling than us recording a post game pod after they beat the Bucs, bro.
Oh man, that's been our best numbers, bro.
But before the Falcons comeback on week, easily our best numbers were the Bucs episodes. Easily, it wasn't even close. And it's I don't know if it's just because like I don't interact with Buck fans, bro. Like I don't interact with them. I don't talk to them. Most of them are blocked. But something about that feeling, and maybe it's because they have Tom Brady. I don't know what it is, man. I can't pinpoint.
Yeah.
But that feeling is chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
One thing I do want to see. I maybe it was just he's just getting the rust out, but he's the more consistency from Will Lutz, bro. Like I know he came in the clutch when they needed the field goal, but like that.
Yeah, man, give us that consistency, man. That's all we need, bro.
Like that 44-yarder, if you would have hit that just complexion of the game is completely different.
Hey, can we get some punt returns? Party. Not no fair catches.
The way you just said his name, nigga.
It's a punt return, bro. I know you had one against the Falcons. Like, man, come on, man. Some punt return, man.
Before we end this episode, let's do a quick go through of the games this upcoming this Sunday, week 2. Ooh. But before we do that, let's take a quick break. Let's take a listen to another sponsor of ours. We'll be right back. What's up, Ryan?
Yo.
I'm just going to say this. I don't want you to get offended. I'm a big dude. You a big dude. Damn. And I know sometimes weight loss has been an issue that we both dealt with our entire lives. But I want to tell you about something that I came across about this great new company called Vertimax.
Okay.
Did you know that Vertimax is the leading sports performance and fitness equipment company that's used by half of D1 programs and half of the NFL and NBA teams? We have an NFL podcast. It's used by professional leagues as well as other teams all around the world. There's a Vertimax platform and there's a Vertimax Raptor used to help athletes improve their performance on the field for almost 3 decades. That's almost as old as you. I know we pick on him, but did you know that we pick on him in terms of his workouts, but Jameis Winston actually has trained on a Vertimax Raptor, and the King of New Orleans himself, Drew Brees, has trained on a Vertimax platform along with other top NFL and college football pro athletes. I was just scrolling on TikTok. I saw Amari Cooper using a Vertimax machine.
Wow.
We know we have a lot of listeners that have kids. They're in sports. They're in soccer, baseball, football, track and field, you name it. If you're a parent and you want to help your child improve in terms of their sports performance, or maybe you just feel like you just want to get your body right for the summer and get fit, you need to check out Vertimax. So
All you have to do is go to Bertamax.com or follow them on social media at Bertamax. That's BERTI Max. Again, that's at BERTI Max. Bertamax.com. Look into getting yourself a Vertimax platform, a Vertimax Raptor, and tell me you won't see the improvement.
Heard my little sis is buying a car. You'll need my secret guide.
Gross, no way. I already used Capital One Auto Navigator.
I bet your credit score
Wasn't impacted at all, so ha. I got my real rate and monthly payment, had an amazing test drive at the dealership, and made the purchase.
taking the easy way out. That's so you.
Still not getting it. That's so you. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
All right, man. You got there's some games. There's some games this weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
There's some games this weekend. Like Thursday night football starts with Chargers and Chiefs, bruh. Herbert Mahomes. two top 5 quarterbacks.
Top 3, 2 top 3 quarterbacks.
He said this man said top 3. He said stop playing with him. He said
stop playing with him.
Yes. I was very annoyed this whole offseason about the whole like demise of Patrick Mahomes because Tyreek Hill wasn't there.
Oh, please.
It was just dumb. It was just dumb. I was like, this man is literally one of the best players to ever play the quarterback position. Also, I'm not going to get started on Ryan. I'm not going to get started on the bruh.
I know where you're going. I
didn't even watch the clip, bruh. I just read like the tweet or whatever when it's posted in our Discord, and I was like, nah. But your reaction to it was hilarious. You're like, Sean, fuck out my face talking about the best.
Please. Fuck out my face. And he keep doing it, man. I saw him on
it was something else he did, right?
He was on Herd or somebody.
Yeah, it was
man.
a Herd.
He's just like, I've never seen a quarterback like that. I've never graded a quarterback. So I was like, fuck you, bro. You know? Like you was the fucking head coach.
You ran the team. You could have said, you know what? And obviously, they would have like missed on Marcus Williams, but like he's like, you know what? I have so much conviction in this guy. I want to give up the second round pick, our second rounder just to move up to get him.
I mean, on Herd, he even told Herd that like Drew Brees was in the draft.
I remember that. I mean, I knew,
and he told him,
yeah.
And he told him like, yeah, we probably gonna take a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was done. You know what I'm saying? Like it was done. But the Chiefs jumped in front of us. Like, when the fuck has that ever stopped y'all from getting the player y'all want? Ever?
Can we also talk about the audacity that happened in 2017, and then the very next year they trade a future first round pick to draft Marcus Davenport, bro?
To draft Davenport. It's like fuck you, bro. Like I will always hold that against him. Always.
I'm glad I didn't watch any of the videos. I couldn't, bro. Couldn't bring myself to it. But
it's the fact that he keeps talking about it,
yes.
Shut up.
There's some games. So Chargers Chiefs Thursday night. I'll be going with the Chiefs. Chargers are a little banged up. There's no Keenan Allen. Speaking of watching the Chiefs, man, I hope Peyton Turner mom don't listen to this podcast anymore, bro. But like, do you know how annoying it is, like watching George Kalafkis or whatever the fuck his name is, just out there just balling, bro, just pressure,
balling, man.
Pressure. This makes me sick. Miami and Baltimore, good game.
Real good game. Because Miami defense was getting after it, man.
And historically they've given Lamar fits.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. I'm rooting for Lamar. I want to see him. I just want to see some crazy shit happen. I want him to hit free agency. I just want some crazy shit. That's all I'm rooting for.
I'm scared.
So I just want him to have. I want him to have just a great season.
I'm scanning the schedule for week 2. There's only 3 games being played. 3 games being played this week where both teams are 1-0. and the Saints are in one of them. So it's the Miami Baltimore game, it's the Saints Bucs game, and it's the Vikings Eagles game.
So you're gonna have some teams thirsty. Teams you don't want to go that 0-2. They 0-2. 0-2, you start seeing those tweets like teams have a 40% chance to make the playoffs if they go. Start seeing those tweets. You don't want that, bro. We live that life.
I won't throw it out there, bro. That Cardinals Raiders game this week, bro. That might be a must-win game for the Cardinals because things feeling yucky in Arizona right now, bro.
They look bad.
Bad.
They look bad. Like I said, we talked about the preseason and starters and all that stuff. So maybe they pull it together, but past couple of years they pretty much started out on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So to see them started like that, man, I was like, a lot of stink over there.
It is.
But everybody got extensions though. Like coach got extension. Kyler got extension.
That's not the definition of failing upwards, bro. I don't know what. And I love Cliff. I've always been a Cliff fan for him going to Texas Tech, was Texas Tech quarterback, became a Texas Tech head coach for the football team. I always loved Cliff, but that's the definition of falling upwards, bro. Just makes no sense. You had a divisional game, Seahawks against the Niners. Can we talk about Nathaniel Hackett?
Bro.
That was some of the absolute worst coaching in a spot under pressure that I feel like I have seen in a long time, bro.
Like that was, you didn't have to be like, Michael Lombardi, Greg Rosenthal, understanding all the different, rules to go with timeouts and shit. Like that was just like, bro, what are you doing?
They wasted 30 seconds off the play clock. It was 4th and 5. And he was like, even though we just gave this man a huge extension to be our quarterback, or be our franchise quarterback, I'm going to send the kicker out to kick a 64-yard field goal to win?
It was unbelievable, man. And they just let so much time run off the clock.
Trickle, trickle, trickle.
I mean, they're sitting there huddling. I'm like, what is going on? Why are y'all huddling here?
It was
like it's 4th and 5. Like they were approaching this like the game was tied.
Right?
It's like, okay, we got another chance. Like y'all losing. Like if y'all don't win this, y'all gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was crazy. Like that to me, if I was like a Broncos fan, I'd be like, man, get this dude out of here now. Now. Fire week 1, bro.
It might. So the Packers take on the Bears this season, or sorry, Sunday Night Football. If Green Bay doesn't win, bro, Aaron Rodgers gonna be a salty motherfucker.
Yeah. Let's see. This could be like last year. Got stumped by the Saints. Everybody was like, oh, but man, like having no Devontae Adams,
huge.
It's huge, bro.
It's huge.
Like that means something, man, because they used to cook.
And
it's kind of like Drew Brees when Mike Thomas went out, bro. It's like, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is limited like Drew Brees was, as far as arm and all that year, but bro, like, man, Drew Brees was, he was throwing to some, like if that Drew with the weak arm had like this skill positions we have this year, he'd have been way much better, man, way much better. But it would have been the talent helping him out. And right now, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the talent to help him out right now, man.
Yeah, and you could see how like disgusted he was when Christian Watson dropped that. He was like, if this nigga don't get off this fucking field right now, bro. Like you can tell.
Which is a shame, bro. Like damn, dude, a rookie, man. Like he gonna like it sucked because it hit him right. Like it was a perfect throw. It was like, oh, like, damn, bro. Like, you gotta catch that. But come on, man. Like go back to him. You know what I'm saying? Like run that play back up. Because at least he was getting open, So I think they'll be okay, bro. Like they'll be in the mix. But man, if they do go into it, and I mean the Vikings, man, they got some. Like if he had the Vikings, they would have been. 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 Vikings was cooking.
Cooking, bro.
It was cooking last week. So
Kirk Cousins said, "I'm here." Tired of the ridicule. Tired of it.
don't put me on I ain't no Dalton scale, bitch.
I am the scale.
I am the scale, motherfucker. I run the scale. I tip the scale.
Speaking of which, that's gonna be a good game to be at in London, bruh.
Oh yeah, bro. Ooh, that's gonna be a big game, bro.
Huge.
I think the Vikings serious, bro.
Because in theory, both teams. I know the Saints might, not putting bad juju in the universe, but the Saints could be 3-0 and the Vikings could be 3-0 that London game, bro. Might be.
That'd be one of the best London games they haven't had now.
Ever, bro. Ever. Get to see Marshawn on Justin Jefferson. Anyway, getting too excited. Take care of business against Tampa Bay. Beat the Bucs. Go 2-0. So we can have an awesome recap podcast Sunday night. If you are a Patreon, the link will be posted to for the live stream. The Zoom link will be posted to the live stream in Patreon within the next couple of days. If you're not a Patreon, if you want to, you can become a Patreon to be a part of it. If not, we'll post just the YouTube link to our channel so you can just watch along. Honestly, now that we've kind of figured out our setup, our dynamic, and working things out, I wouldn't want to watch the Saints game any other way, bruh. Like,
bro, so much fun, bro. And look, like for people like I know me, I don't like to be around people.
The same way.
We don't watch the Saints game.
Same way.
But with this is great because like you're in your house by yourself, but you're on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? So you could turn your camera off, you could mute, whatever you want to do. So it's like so much better just getting all the reactions, watching the game. Joey had me cracking up, bro.
Oh my god!
Like, bro, every time the defense would get struck, he'd be like, "Oh my god, oh."
The best,
that's the feeling, man.
The best reactions, honestly, was like the non-reaction, bro. Shout out to our dude Mitch in Hawaii, bro. Mitch
was like. So listen, like people, like seriously, like some good stuff, man. You become a patron, like if you just become a patron for $1 a month, $1 a month, you get access to our Discord, which is awesome.
Awesome, man.
Our Discord channel is awesome, popping all day, 24/7. You get access to the live streams we do on game day, which if you're out of market and it's hard for you to watch a Saints game, I'm just saying. Become a patron.
This is from someone who has been a Saints fan for a number of years, have never been like in an area to consistently get Saints games, whether it's living in Texas and then been living in California for as long as I have. Or if you're in another country, just having a place where every Sunday or whatever day it is, at whatever time, I can go in, watch the game with the guys, quote unquote, in a virtual setting, have my drinks, not have to worry about a bootleg stream, having all these pop-ups, having titties and ass and all this porn popping up. I'm trying to
viruses, malware.
We got y'all. It's taken care of. Just be in there. We got you. I look forward to it, man. It's dope. I know that because of Sunday is a home game. Obviously, obviously some people in our little group or in circle may be at the actual game. If you're going, be loud. If you're not going to the game, if you're in Louisiana, if you're not going to the game because you live somewhere else, hop in the Discord with us, get the information, become a Patreon. It really just changes watching the game experience. And I also think watching it that way, the emotions are still there. Like the emotions are still there, but I would say like the lows don't, and obviously the lows don't bother us. But like if you're still kind of emotionally connected to the team, the lows don't hit as hard because like at that point, like everyone's in there just laughing. Like, of course, like what else could go fucking wrong? Like it's just, it's beautiful, man. It's honestly one of the proudest things that you and I have built. And shout out to all the people in our Discord who have kind of like gave suggestions of like how to share a screen. It's chef's kiss. So long story, become a Patreon, as low as even $1 a month. Get in there with us. We have like maybe 15 more coffee mugs to get out for all the Saints Twitter coffee mugs to be out. I have reached out, I believe, to everyone for their address who is at the $10 level. So if you have not gotten my email, if you haven't responded to our email, please respond with your address so we can get all the mugs out. This week alone, I think 10 mugs or 11, 12 mugs have been shipped out. So they're on the way. Everyone should get them, or people should get them either by the end of this month or first week of next month. So you guys will have your coffee mugs. I think that's it. Really appreciate TeePublic. Our merchandise is popping off. We do have to add more designs and stuff, and we'll work on that. It's just been a little swamped for both of us work wise, so that's something we'll work on. But thank y'all for like point blank period. Thank y'all, all the kind words that y'all sent in on Sunday on week one, just being part of this Saints Twitter podcast family. It means the world to Ryan and I. Like, it truly does. Yeah. We had no idea what the fuck we were doing 2 years ago when we started this. But we are extremely proud that it has become what it is. And at this point, we just want to continue to grow the family with good people. And like, that's it. It's like everyone in this group, in the Saints Twitter family is good people. And so we just want to continue to add on, and adding more and more good people. So we will be back Sunday night, recapping the game, and go Saints, man. Go become 2-0. Do what you gotta do so we can fucking be clowning Sunday night. That's all I gotta say. Clown him, bro. I mean, we gonna clown him either way, but like, I want to clown for like happy reasons. So all that. Thank y'all. Any likes, retweets on social media, please continue to do that. Continue to get this word around. Also, last thing, huge shout out to our boy, our dude Chris, #White Wealth. He is doing an amazing fucking job with everything that he's helping us out with video content this season. Chris, we appreciate you, man. You're doing great work. We thank you, man. Like, we truly thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Because
one last thing, #Saints Twitter podcast on YouTube.
Yes,
go subscribe, like the videos. We're gonna be putting a lot of content out there, so make sure. A lot of people like to listen to podcasts on YouTube, so I'm trying to put every episode out there plus other content. So make sure you subscribe. #Saints Twitter podcast on YouTube. Just look it up. Make sure to follow us.
Follow us. With that, we're out.
Peace.